Yo guys, what's up? In today's video we're gonna talk about an iconic machine gun that was tested by many European nations and also by the Chinese army, the SIG KE7, named after its two designers, Paul de Kirali from Hungary and Gotthard from Switzerland. The KE7 was introduced 10 years before the start of World War II in 1929 by the Swiss manufacturer SIG, located in Neuhausen am Rheinfall. It was a recoil-operated design which fired from an open bolt. Even though it was manufactured in Switzerland, the gun was not adopted by the Swiss military but exported primarily to Latin America and China. Mostly the KE7 was made in 8mm Mauser, but also offered in a broad variety of calibers. The fire rate varied depending on caliber, but was never lower than 550 rounds per minute, extremely high for a gun made in 1929. Typical magazines contained 25 rounds, so reloading was required pretty quickly after opening fire. The KE7 had no quick change barrel and was able to fire in both single shot mode and automatic mode. Instead of a selector switch, its fire mode was determined by the trigger. Pulling the trigger back slightly would render single shots, while a further pull on the trigger would result in automatic fire. This technique was a common feature on SMGs, but not on LMGs. There is no distinct reason why the Swiss military never used the KE7, but experts claim that the Swiss were already satisfied with the Führer LMG 25 that had been adopted in 1925 and remained in service until the 1960s. The designers were aiming for an open bolt machine gun that was safe to use, that reduced recoil and pressure. The fact that they succeeded was amazing enough. And with the additional trigger switch for fire mode, the KE7 was quite a pioneer LMG. The only downside was that it was a costly and complex design, and its production only ran until 1938. It was supposed to be operated by a two-man crew, one gunner and one magazine changer, so a light folding bipod is attached to the perforated barrel jacket, and an additional rear monopod could be fitted as well. In 1930, Switzerland had also sent a few examples for British Army trials in order to find a replacement for the Lewis gun, but a modified Czechoslovak weapon was adopted in the end, called Brengun. Even though Switzerland supplied trial guns to Britain, the Swiss were never invaded by Nazi Germany. Switzerland remained under armed neutrality during the entire war and was blockaded by both Nazi Germany and the Allies on the French-Swiss border. After 1942, when Germany also occupied Vichy France, Switzerland was fully surrounded by Axis forces and became a safe haven for refugees and later for war criminals. Both the Axis and the Allies exerted pressure on the country not to trade with the other. Switzerland relied on trade for half of its food and essentially all of its fuel, but it controlled vital transalpine rail tunnels between Italy and Germany, so the Alps were Switzerland's way out of an invasion. Both the Axis and the Allies sold large amounts of gold to the Swiss National Bank in exchange for Swiss francs that could be used to buy raw materials from neutral countries. About 581,000 francs of gold was taken from Holocaust victims and sold to the Swiss. Apart from gold, also coal was supplied by Germany, receiving electric power back from the Swiss. The Allies turned a blind eye not to damage their relation with Switzerland. See you on the next one, guys. Peace.